With the win, Harvard advances. St. Lawrence needs to win tonight and tomorrow to get into that next round, the quarterfinal matchup against number 4 RPI.
We'll take a look at the bracket. You'll see here it's a hard bracket, so these matchups from the left to the right are set aside. Teams not reseeded, so the winner of this one will go to RPI, as Adam said. And to finish off that thought before we went to commercial, it was really the loss against St. Lawrence on February 22nd that not quite put the nail in the coffin, but really dampened. Good shot there from Dornbach.
That was a quick trigger and a good save, good reaction by Manella to cover it up, no rebound.
But finish the thought there, that kind of really put the damper on Harvard's chances at that 4 seed. They were battling back and forth with RPI and Yale, and that loss to St. Lawrence effectively put Harvard behind the 8 ball. And as you mentioned, sputtered down the stretch, and here they are playing on this opening weekend and knowing that this will be the last home game or home games at Bright Landry this season.
And if certainly, here's a double deflection in on goal. Seedham had to go off of his skates, some friendly fire, but Gibson able to stand tall. One of the best opportunities of the night for St. Lawrence, and it was rather opportunistic.
Big pinball there, like you said, double deflection, and Gibson has had to be ready on that one too.
Stretch pass ahead, Harvard skates in all alone, shot, score! Henry Bowlby got the scoring started yesterday, with a big part of the scoring yesterday for Harvard. And he's given the Crimson a late 2-0 lead here in the first.
There were 5 different goal scorers for the Crimson last night, making 2 different ones tonight. And Bowlby takes that stretch pass, doesn't go for the deke. He has a little bit of pressure behind him defensively from Alftberg, but he just goes roof over the blocker side of Manella in the cage. Manella's deep in the net, has to respect Bowlby's speed. And Bowlby pots it in underneath the bar. A great finish from him. Goal number 8 on the season. And a big goal for Harvard here.
Let's not discredit what Jack Rathbone did on the pass, right on the money, that sent him in all alone. The first goal of the night, Baker Shore, Henry Bowlby the next. And Harvard never comfortable, especially seeing St. Lawrence put 3 on the board last night, but getting more comfortable. Shot from the point through a lot of traffic, and Manella hangs tough, pounces on the rebound. Jace Foskey. Here's a look at the blast from the point, and that one more or less caught Manella than him catching it right in the midsection.
A lot of traffic out front. He did well to battle through it and locate that puck, but you hear the term positional save said a lot in hockey, and I think that's going to be a pretty much textbook definition of it. That was center cut right in the numbers in the front of the St. Lawrence jersey.
Take up as much space as you can in net. St. Lawrence comes away with the face-off. Offensive zone. Pass connected to Jankowski. Out in front, and Gibson pounces on it. So there is Mitchell Gibson staying active, making sure St. Lawrence doesn't get an even later goal here. Harvard scored with under 3 minutes left.
Gibson now up to 8 saves, and you hit it on a minute ago. That double deflection, probably the toughest one so far. It's a St. Lawrence offense that now trailing 2-0, already over their season average in terms of goals per game at 1.8, so they'll need to find some offense here, but no shot is a bad shot at this point. Throw some pucks on the net, see if you can hit a body, a stick, funky hop in the ice, and see what you can do.
And then build momentum off of it from there. Harvard escapes its zone. Pass ahead up the far side, and a big hit, and we've got a penalty, and we've got, a little extracurricular after. Jack Bedini not happy with that takedown at all. Dangerous one. Good to see Bedini pop up, but Bedini's immediately got his left hand, his left glove off of his left hand. And here's a look at it.
Bedini was in a good back and forth with Buell earlier in the game, and that's a dangerous, dangerous hit. That's going to be Garvey, I believe, who they're going to, or I'm sorry, that's Dylan Wolf on the hit from behind, and the officials are going to talk at the penalty bench here, because that's numbers and full speed into the boards. And like you mentioned, good to see Bedini pop up, but that's a scary, scary hit.
And good that it didn't develop anything more than that. You can see Giardino getting patted in the back. He was healthy popping up. So
that can be just understand a lot of adrenaline, too.
Yeah, and you can understand the frustration, the anger, and players on both sides doing a nice job of making sure that pile-up didn't turn into anything more physical. So here's what we're taking a look at, and I'm with you, where this could, from this position, very well be a 5-minute situation coming up for St. Lawrence.
5-minute game misconduct potential, hitting from behind too, because you see goal line to boards, 6.5, 7 feet. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head. Years of playing hockey, I know that, but that far off the boards at full speed for both players with Wolf and then Giardino. And then you also have Jeff Clark in there as well. So Badini's going in 1-on-2, full flight. What you'd like to see here is Wolf kind of bear hug him into the boards. It's that shove and shoulder that's the really dangerous part about it, and why I'm assuming this is under review. Because if you bear hug him into the boards, you're slowing yourself down, you're slowing the opponent down. You're not going to get a holding penalty because it's a safety issue, and you can avoid that, but we'll see what the officials take out of it.
The officials have made their decision.
So Wolf is going to the locker room, but there is only 1:53 left in the period.
Now, and I think one of the officials mouthed, "He's gone."
Yep, 5-minute. Okay.
So one of the officials said, "He's gone," talking about Wolf, and you certainly can understand where that came from. You don't want a player to have to be injured in order to get a game misconduct. The fact that Giardino avoided catastrophe there from a physical standpoint, that should be a silver lining. And so the 5-minute game misconduct, you're up 2-0, you're Harvard, you have the best power play unit in the country. You could not just lick your chops at one, but maybe multiple goals here and really put your foot down on St. Lawrence.
Yeah, obviously power play doesn't stop any goals here. We'll run the full 5 minutes plus a whistle. It's Carson Dimoff in the box serving the penalty for Wolf, one of the junior captains for the St. Lawrence squad. But that'll be a power play that stretches from the first into the second period here.
The fact, here's a chance for Walsh, wrist shot, score. Riley Walsh makes it 3-0 Harvard. Still 4 minutes, 15 seconds remains on this power play.
Now we saw the first power play, a lot of high-low action, and on this play, it's kind of broken behind the net, and it finds its way out to Riley Walsh in the slot, uncontested, and he makes a nice cutback move and skating right, shooting back left, and Walsh puts the saber back in the belt there on the goal celebration. But for St. Lawrence here, it's hold on for dear life, try not to allow any more goals, and see if you can chip away from there. But
yeah, I was going to say that if St. Lawrence kills off this 5-minute penalty without giving up a goal, that should be really lifting for them. But now that they've given up the one goal, it really needs to be about damage control here, not giving up much more than that.
Especially before the end of the period.
Will still be 3 minutes of power play on the opposite side of intermission. Harvard with the puck, and still 45 seconds left to work with at the end of this frame. Braun with a blast. That one gets deflected to the end boards, and Manella reaches around to cover it up.
And if you're Manella here, you want to do that as much as you possibly can. Your team in front of you is facing a 5-minute power play, or penalty kill, I should say, excuse me. Still 3:47 on the clock for that. Get the puck, swallow it up, slow the game down as much as you can, get into the locker room, regroup, and then come out into the second with a different mindset.
Walsh flicks it over to the far boards. Down low, one-timer blast. That one's turned aside. Big blast by Dornbach. Diagonal pass deflected all the way to the end board. St. Lawrence trying to kill off 15 more seconds here in the first. A blast and a deflection goes up and out of play. Manella never saw it. He was skating side to side in the crease thinking the puck was still alive.
Great block by Michael Laidley out in front of the top of the circle, standing in front of Jack Rathbone's one-time bomb. And he got enough of that to send it into the netting. And, you know, down 3-0, this is really when you got to sell out to block those shots. You don't want anything getting towards your goalie. And Lately did just that.
Season on the line here tonight for St. Lawrence. They need some kind of comeback. Already trailing 3-0. And that is the score heading into the first intermission after one. Harvard with a 3-zip advantage, and they've still got 3:07 on the power play when we go to the second. Stick with us here on ESPN. We've got first period intermission coverage. We'll be back with stats, with highlights, and then we'll have second period action for you here in Cambridge. Harvard 3-zip over St. Lawrence.